The building stands 42 stories tall in Midtown Manhattan. It's mostly windowless, almost entirely windowless. It looks like a fortress. That is what makes this building so special. And that is why we went down to see it today. This is 33 Thomas Street, and this is a massive building which has been shrouded in rumor and speculation and conspiracy theory for decades. Long rumored to house one of the NSA's most critical mass surveillance hubs, the facility within this structure, once secret, is now known to be one of the largest and most sophisticated centers for intercepting and analyzing vast streams of communication flowing through fiber optic cables from around the world. We don't know how many people work in here. We don't know who works in here. But we do know that the efforts of journalists and whistleblowers over the past few years have revealed the extent of the government's domestic and foreign spying programs. So today, we went down to Thomas Street to take a look at this building. Hi, I'm here with a channel. This is my colleague Chris, and we are here in Lower Manhattan looking at 33 Thomas Street. I mean, this thing looks like, well, something out of a James Bond movie, doesn't it? This is not your typical New York City skyscraper. It's very nondescript. There are no identifying markings on the exterior. There is just a tiny plaque on the side of the building that says 33 Thomas Street. There is no signage identifying who owns the building or who might be renting space inside. All of this adds to the mystique of the building. It's long been rumored to be a secretive hub for various intelligence agencies, including the National Security Agency and the FBI. Now, in recent years, investigative reports have confirmed that this building is indeed home to a major data collection facility operated by the NSA and other agencies. According to reporting by The Intercept, this facility is known as Titan. That's Titan, Titan, and it's located at the basement level of this building. Now, we don't know the exact details of what goes on inside this facility, but we do know that it is one of the most important hubs for the NSA's global spying operations. In fact, the agency's upstream collection program, which collects internet traffic from fiber optic cables, is believed to be concentrated in just a handful of facilities around the country. And this one is considered to be one of the biggest. Reporting by The Intercept has revealed that these activities take place in a subterranean labyrinth, accessible only to a select few employees. It's believed that the agency uses these facilities to intercept and analyze vast amounts of data flowing through fiber optic cables from around the world. In fact, the interception of communications between people in the United States and abroad is such a critical function that the facility is rumored to be equipped with backup generators that would allow it to continue operating even if the power grid were to go down. So The Intercept reported that the underground facility at 33 Thomas Street was built to withstand a nuclear blast. So that's why there are no windows. That's why it looks like a bunker. Apparently, the structure was built with the intention of being able to operate continuously, even in the event of a large-scale disaster. Now, we don't know exactly what kind of communications are being intercepted at this facility, but given the location in New York City, it's believed that a significant amount of international traffic passes through this facility, making it a key hub for the NSA's upstream collection program. Despite the facility's importance, little is known about its operations due to the classified nature of the work that takes place there. But the facility is believed to employ hundreds of analysts and technicians who work around the clock to sift through the vast amount of data that is collected. It's also worth noting that the facility is located in a heavily trafficked area of Manhattan, which has raised concerns about the potential for signal interception and the privacy rights of individuals whose communications are being intercepted. Now, again, we don't know much about the details of this facility, because this is still a relatively new development in terms of the transparency of the NSA's activities. For decades, the agency operated in secrecy, carrying out surveillance programs without the knowledge or consent of the American people. But in recent years, thanks to the work of journalists and whistleblowers, we've learned more about the extent of the government's spying operations. We know that the NSA has been collecting vast amounts of data on both Americans and foreigners, including phone records, internet history, and even the content of emails and text messages. But the good news is that because of this exposure, because of this transparency, reforms have been put in place to limit the NSA's ability to spy on its own citizens. The Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or FISA, was passed in 1978 to regulate the government's intelligence gathering activities. but it was on tent until the revelations of the extent of the NSA's spying programs in recent years that calls for reform grew louder. Many argued that the government's surveillance operations had become too broad and too intrusive, and that the balance of power between the government and its citizens had tipped too far in favor of surveillance. As a result, reforms were implemented to limit the NSA's ability to collect data on U.S. citizens without a warrant, as well as to increase oversight of the agency's activities. But despite these reforms, the NSA continues to collect vast amounts of data on both Americans and foreigners, and the facility at 33 Thomas Street remains one of the key hubs for these operations. And as we mentioned, all of this is hidden away in the basement of this building. The building itself is a strange structure. It's tall, it's narrow, and it's almost entirely windowless. The only windows are on the top floor, high above the street, and they're small and narrow, offering little more than a glimpse of the sky. The building is made of grey stone and concrete, and it has a heavy, imposing presence on the street. The facade is unadorned, with the exception of a small plaque that reads 33 Thomas Street. There is no signage indicating who owns the building or who might be renting office space there. This only adds to the building's mystique and makes it a popular subject for urban explorers and conspiracy theorists. Over the years, the building has been the subject of numerous rumors and conspiracy theories, with many believing that it houses a secret government facility involved in everything from spying to mind control experiments. While there is no evidence to support these claims, the building's secrecy has only fueled speculation about what might be going on inside. I actually sent our drone up to take some footage of the building. It was kind of interesting to see it from above, because it really does look like a bunker from a bird's eye view. But the drone footage also shows the building's unusual placement in relation to its neighbors. It's set back from the street and surrounded by a chain-link fence, and this only adds to the building's sense of mystery. You get the feeling that the building is being kept hidden from view, which of course, it is. We couldn't get any footage from directly behind the building, because there's a large chain-link fence surrounding the rear of the property, and any time we tried to get a little bit closer to the fence to try to get some footage over it, someone would appear. So it was always a game of cat and mouse trying to get footage of the rear of the building. In fact, the building's secrecy is so tight that there is even a security guard stationed outside at all times, even though there is nothing to see here, right? But he was watching us the whole time. He didn't say anything. He didn't acknowledge us. He didn't tell us to leave. He just stood there quietly, watching us, which was kind of creepy, actually. So there's a security guard standing perfectly still, completely silent, watching us while we're shooting footage. Now we don't know who owns the building or who might be renting office space there, but the fact that there is a security guard on site at all times suggests that the building is home to something important, something that needs to be protected. Overall, 33 Thomas Street is an enigmatic structure that has captured the imagination of New Yorkers and conspiracy theorists alike. Its windowless facade and mysterious tenants have made it a local legend and a popular subject for those seeking to uncover the secrets of the city. If you want to learn more about the type of invasive technology that the NSA is using to spy on people in this country, check out our friends at They have some great tools to help keep you anonymous online, and thank you for watching.